Many people build their lives backwards. They prioritize the image of success, the clothes, the cars, the titles, before laying a foundation that can actually support those things over the long haul. When a life is constructed purely for display, it becomes fragile. The moment real pressure hits, whether that's an economic downturn or physical exhaustion, the facade cracks because there is no underlying structure holding it together. There is an alternative. It's a framework built on consistency rather than mood, governed by enduring rules instead of temporary appetites. This is the principle life. To see how this works in practice, we're going to examine the life of Tran. We aren't looking at him as a celebrity to be admired. We are using his story as a case study to reverse engineer a specific philosophy, summed up in this single instruction: build a life before you build an image. To survive the friction of reality, a person must act like an architect engineering a durable structure, rather than a marketer promoting a brand. That architectural mindset begins in places where love is expressed as rationing and endurance. In rural Ninh, Vietnam, the environment strips away the illusions of comfort, replacing them with a constant proximity to the edge. Growing up with limited means trains the eye. It forces a person to distinguish immediately between absolute survival necessities and wasteful display, because misunderstanding that difference has physical consequences. In these conditions, the family functions as a child's first institution. It operates as a lived mechanism. Someone wakes early, someone monitors resources, and order is maintained strictly so the household can survive another day. Love inside this early institution is measured in practicalities: divided portions, repaired clothing, withheld complaints, and taking on extra shifts so someone else can rest. Observing this dynamic hardwires a lasting realization into a person's mind. They learn early on that human comfort and advancement are entirely subsidized by the invisible, costly labor of other people. Migration is a movement across geographies, but also across systems of meaning. It is a high-stakes translation of social status, risk, and survival in a world that was not designed with the migrant's childhood in mind. This pressure creates a strategic alertness. The immigrant mind learns to constantly scan unfamiliar institutions, looking for access points, mapping out credential hierarchies, and calculating hidden financial costs that more established populations might ignore. Navigating that intensity requires a specific psychological framework, a hidden system of response and interpretation known as emotional grammar. This grammar allows a person to integrate deep stress and vulnerability into functional daily habits. They learn how to carry disappointment without collapsing and how to remain reliable even when they are exhausted. This stress test produces an adult who expects effort. They do not assume society provides immediate comfort. Instead, they learn to convert personal pain into structural reliability. As that mindset matures into adulthood, it relies on two load-bearing pillars to support the life architecture. The first is the concept of simplicity as power. Frugality here is strategic. It is a refusal to confuse capacity with display, ensuring resources remain available for work that compounds. This preserves optionality others quietly lose when they finance an image. These redirected resources flow directly into the second pillar: education. In modern culture, education is frequently treated as a way to gather status or collect prestigious titles. But here, learning is reclaimed for its original purpose: dignity. Engaging in practical, rigorous study is how a person reclaims their agency. It proves that their mind can be developed and that the circumstances of their birth do not have to be their permanent cage. When simplicity and education work together, they create an internal architecture that remains solid even when external recognition disappears. Which brings us to the ultimate structural question: what is the final end state of all this private restriction, frugality, and continuous study? This follows a specific sequence. Love is converted into duty, duty into habits, and habits into the kind of long-run trust necessary to build organizations. Over decades, private discipline matures into public influence. In Tran's case, those internal principles took physical shape here in Louisville, Kentucky. He built a university. It is a documented system designed to help ordinary people secure skills and navigate the same pathways he once had to translate for himself. This is the final stage of mature leadership, custodianship. It is the act of holding a structure together so that other people can function inside it with greater stability. A single life, governed steadily enough, produces something more than private achievement. It becomes an institutional shelter, a durable structure where others can find their own path to dignity.